Hi guys, and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we're doing a detailed tutorial for the module 5637 that's in this GA900 analog digital G-shock. Now just like with all my other tutorial videos, in the description you will find a table of contents with time codes, so you can jump to specific parts of the video or functions of the watch. However, I would advise you to watch the whole video the first time, just so you get acquainted with all the functions that this watch has. Now, just like with all other analog digital G-shocks that are regular battery operated, you will have to know how to check and correct the hand's position, because this watch, whenever you change the battery, is gonna assume that it's midnight. So if your hands are not showing exactly at midnight when you're changing your battery, they're gonna get messed up because they're connected to the digital screen. So to check and correct the hand's position, you have to be in the home screen, and you will know you're in the home screen when this target here is all black, because as you cycle through modes by using the mode button, you will see that the squares here change. So now we're in timer, world time, alarm, stopwatch, and when it's all black, we're back in the home screen. In the home screen, you use this button to cycle what this screen shows. Currently it's showing the calendar data. Press it again and it's gonna show you the time and the seconds, so hours, minutes, seconds. If this time matches the hands, you're okay. If it doesn't match, or if you just changed your battery, you're gonna have to correct the hands. To correct the hands while in the home screen, you press and hold the adjust button, but you hold it more than 5 seconds. So you have to ignore the first beep that takes you into the adjusting screen and wait for it to go into the hand setting screen. So press and hold, still hold, and there. And now the hands are gonna go to midnight, or whatever the position they're in. They should go to midnight. If they don't point straight forward like this, straight up, they're messed up. So if your hands end up showing anywhere else other than this in the hand setting screen, you have to correct them. You use these two buttons to do so. So you can go clockwise and you can go counterclockwise, and the minute hand is connected to the hour hand. So if you have to move the hour hand, you can press and hold, and it's gonna start moving rapidly until you stop it by pressing. So if your hour hand is showing anywhere else, you're gonna have to use the circulation of the minute hand to get it into position. So we can go also clockwise and also rapidly by pressing and holding. And we're gonna wait for the watch to get to midnight and just stop it by pressing one of the buttons, like so. And now you can just correct it to be very accurate, like this. And that's it. You just set up your hands position. So to exit the hand setting screen, you just press the adjust button, and they're gonna go back to showing the correct time displayed on the digital display. Once you've done this, so you corrected your hands position, now you can set up the watch, the hours, the minutes, the calendar data. To do so, you just press and hold the adjust button again, but you release it after the first beep. So press and hold, and release. And now the first thing that the watch is going to ask you is your time zone, and this you have to set up correctly, because the times in the world time function are calculated based on what you select as your home city. Now a lot of people in the comments always ask, but my city is not there. It doesn't matter. The watch covers all the time zones in the world. You just have to find the largest city that's supported by the watch that's in the same time zone as your own city. So you can go forward to the east and to the west by these two buttons. So if let's say I live in Croatia, so my time zone would be equivalent to Paris. So you can select Paris like this. And to move on, you press the mode button once you've selected your home time. So press the mode button. The watch is going to ask you for the DST, which is the daylight savings time or summertime. If your time zone observes the summertime, and it's currently summertime on, you simply use the lower button to toggle it to on, and the time is going to move accordingly. As you can see, it moved by 1 hour. When it's off by 1 hour. So let's put it to off. Press the mode button again. The watch is going to ask you whether you want a 12-hour display or a 24-hour display. So if you leave it at 12-hour, you're going to have 10 p.m. You're going to have this P. If you select by using the lower button a 24-hour display, you're going to have the military time. So it's 22:47. So let's leave it like that. Pressing the mode button again, the watch is going to ask you for the seconds. If you reset them by pressing the lower button now, you'll see that the minutes moved by 1 up because it was after 30 seconds. If you reset them before they reach 30 seconds, they're going to reset to 0, but the minutes are going to stay unchanged. So let's do it like this. So you can see the minutes didn't change. Press the mode button again. The watch is going to ask you for the hours, and now you can move it forward, you can move it backwards, and you can also speed scroll by pressing and holding like so. So let's put it to 21. Okay, pressing the mode button again, the watch asks you for the minutes. So again, just like with the hours, you can move forward, you can move backwards, and you can also speed scroll. Pressing the mode button again, the watch asks you for the years. So the same principle. So you can go here, you can go up, you can go down. Pressing it again, the watch asks you for the month. Again, you can go up, you can go down. And pressing the mode button again, the watch asks you for the date. Again, you can go up, you can go down. Pressing it again, the watch asks you whether you want it to make sound or beeping sounds when you operate the buttons, or you can turn on the mute function by again pressing the lower button, which toggles things on or off. So if you do it like this, the watch is not going to make any sound when you operate it. Let's put it back to ketone. Pressing it again, the watch asks you for the backlight duration. So if it's at LT1, once you press the light button, the light is going to stay on for 1.5 seconds. To toggle it between the second option, it's the LT3, which is 3 seconds. So again, pressing this button changes that setting. Let's put it to LT3. Pressing the mode button again jumps back to the selection of the time zone. So if you missed anything or you're not satisfied with your settings, pressing this is just going to keep cycling between all these different settings. Once you're pleased with the setting, to exit the setting screen, you simply press the adjust button and the hands go back to where they were. And that's pretty much it when it comes to setting up this watch. Now in the home screen, pressing the light button is going to activate the backlight. Pressing the mode button, like I said, it's going to cycle through different modes, and pressing and holding this mode button in any mode is going to jump back to the home screen like so. Pressing the adjust button doesn't do anything, but if you press and hold, it actually displays, when you press it, it displays your current time zone. If you press and hold, like I said, you're going to get into the settings screen. If you press and hold for more than 5 seconds, into the hand setting screen. Like I said, this button changes what the display displays here, so you can have calendar data or the current time. And pressing the start button, this watch has an instant stopwatch jump. So if you press it in the home screen, it's going to jump into the stopwatch and start the stopwatch. And then it's going to stay in the stopwatch so you can operate it. So press it in the home screen and the stopwatch just started. Now you can stop it, reset it, pressing the mode button, jumps back into the home screen. So a pretty nifty feature. Okay, let's move on. The next function is the countdown timer. This watch comes with a 60-minute countdown timer. So if I start it like this, it's going to count down from 60. Once it reaches 0, it's going to beep. You can stop it, you can reset it with this upper button. Naturally, you can also set the timer in 1-minute increments from 1 to 60. So press and hold the adjust button. The watch is going to enter the adjusting screen, and now just like with the main time, you can go up, you can go down, and you can also speed scroll. Once you've set it up to, let's say, 1 minute, press the adjust button to exit the adjusting screen, and now if you start it, it's going to start counting down from 1 minute. When you stop it and reset it, it jumps back to the time stored in the memory. And that's pretty much it. So let's move on. The next function is the world time function. Here, the hands always show in any mode your current time, and here you're going to have the world time displayed. Sadly, with this watch, you can only go one way, due east, so you can only scroll it by pressing the lower button, due east, like this. You cannot go back. However, it does have a shortcut back to the UTC by pressing these two buttons at the same time, like so. It's going to jump back to the UTC. Another thing you can do is you can change the DST setting for each time zone individually. So you select, let's say, Madrid, and you want to change the DST setting for that time zone. You simply press and hold the adjust button, and the DST is going to turn on, and the time is going to move accordingly. You can also turn it off, like so, and it also moves accordingly. One other thing that's pretty useful for frequent travelers is that you can do the time swap function. So if you select another time zone, let's say Jeddah or whatever. And now if you travel to Jeddah, once you reach it there, you travel from your home time to Jeddah, you don't want to read that time here because it's not really that readable. You want to have it on the main hands, but you still want to keep track of your home time so you know when you can call your relatives or family. To do the time swap, you simply press and hold the reset button while in the world time. So press and hold. And now your home time has jumped to the little screen while the hands are going to show the current time where you're at. This is also very useful because now the alarms are always connected to what the hands are showing or your home time. So if you want to use alarms in Jeddah, you have to do this so that it doesn't do the alarms based on Paris. Once you travel back, you simply press and hold this again, and it's going to swap them again. So now your home time jumped back to being Paris and the world time back to Jeddah. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the world time. The next function is the alarm. This watch comes with 5 alarms, with one being snooze. To cycle through the alarms, you simply press the lower button. So alarm 1, alarm 2, alarm 3, alarm 4, the snooze alarm, and the hourly chime. The hourly chime means that the watch is going to beep every full hour. To turn any of these on, including the hourly chime, you simply press the reset button. So now the hourly chime has been turned on. You have this little SIG displayed here, and the watch is going to beep every full hour. To turn it off, again, you press the reset button. To turn any of the alarms on, you simply cycle with the lower button to the desired alarm, let's say alarm 2. To turn it on, you simply press this. And now this alarm is set for midnight, and it's gonna beep at midnight of every day. Now, even if the alarm is turned off, or if you want to turn it off, you select the alarm and turn it off by pressing the upper button. As long as you have any of the alarms turned on, you're gonna have this ALM displayed here. If you have the snooze alarm on, you're going to have the SNZ displayed as well. And the snooze alarm means that once it beeps all the way to the end, it's going to beep after another, I believe, 5 minutes until you go in here and turn it off manually by selecting the snooze alarm and pressing the off. Now, even if an alarm is turned off, as soon as you start adjusting it, because as expected, you can adjust it to any time you want, it's going to turn on automatically. So press and hold the adjust button of the selected alarm. In this case, it's the snooze alarm. The watch is going to enter the settings screen, and now you can select the hours. Again, just like with the main time, with these 2 buttons, and you can speed scroll, and pressing the mode button asks you for the minutes. So again, you can go back, you can go up, and you can speed scroll. Once you've selected the time when you want the alarm to beep, you simply press the adjust button to exit the adjusting screen. And now this alarm is going to be turned on, is going to beep at 2:02 a.m. every day. To turn it off, you simply press the off button by pressing this reset button. Okay, moving on. The next function is the stopwatch. Like you saw, you can jump into the stopwatch from the home screen, but you can also cycle through it through the mode button. Once in the stopwatch, you can start it, and it's a 24-hour stopwatch with 1/100 of a second precision. You can stop it, you can reset it. You can also do the first and split times and first and second place. So if you start the stopwatch and while it's running, you press the reset button, it's gonna freeze the time, but the stopwatch keeps counting down counting up in behind. So you can unfreeze the screen by pressing the upper button, and you can also do the first and second place. So if you have 2 runners, when the first one goes through the finish line, you press the reset button. When the second one goes, you press the stop button, and now you write down the time of the first runner. Pressing the reset button is going to display the time of the second runner, and pressing it again is going to reset the stopwatch. Another thing that this stopwatch has is a target alarm. So let's say you want to run a mile and you want to measure yourself how fast you are, but you have a certain target that you want to reach. So you can press the adjust button while the stopwatch is not running, press and hold, and the watch is going to ask you what your target is. These are the hours, these are the minutes. So you can set it up in 1-minute increments. So you can go again up, you can go down, and pressing the mode button asks you for the minutes. You can go up, you can go down. So let's say your target for a certain run is 1 minute. You exit with the adjusting screen, with the adjusting button, and you start the stopwatch. Once it reaches 1 minute, it's still gonna keep counting how far, it's gonna keep counting the stopwatch, but it's gonna beep telling you that you reached your target. You can also turn off this target by again going into the adjusting of the target and pressing the mode button until it cycles all the way through like this. And now it asks you whether you want the target to be on or off. Pressing the lower button is gonna cycle between on and off. And that's pretty much it. So to exit the target screen, you press this, and to exit the stopwatch back to the home screen, you press this. Another thing that this watch does is it automatically moves the hands away when you're setting certain things up. But if you're, let's say, in the stopwatch and the hands are blocking your screen, you can manually push them away by pressing the light button, and while holding the light button, you press the mode button. I'm not sure if the watch is going to do it now, because now it knows that it's not blocking the screen, but we can try it. So press and hold and press the mode button, and there. The watch just moved the hands away from the screens, and the H and D symbol is blinking here, telling you that the watch is currently not using the hands to show you the time, but rather the hands are moved away to not block the screen. To exit the hand move function, you again repeat the process. So press and hold the light button, and while you're holding the light button, you press the mode button. So press and hold, press this, and the H and D symbol stopped blinking, and the hands move back to showing you the correct time. And that's pretty much it. So this covers, like I said, the complete setup of this watch and all the functions. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.